Hello, today is January 11th, 2019, and the time is 12:15 p.m. This video is inspired by some comments by trolls, and actually what I'm about to talk about I think has some value to address, and I'm just going to give some examples. Now, some trolls have been saying stuff like, well, I'm not really getting many replies or hits or likes or anything on my posts, primarily with my videos. Well, first off, I'm not looking to be popular, and I knew that from the start. So my story, what I've been sharing mostly with regards to this nightmare of 6 years that began December of 2012 for me, it's not a happy story. So for a lot of people who come online, and a lot of people who come online are trying to escape their own troubles, their own realities. They want to be entertained or vent. So my story is not a happy story or entertaining story. Well, maybe to some entertaining, but overall it's not entertaining. And the topic is complex because of the complexity of my case. So for a lot of people, it's hard to follow. They have their own biases, their own uninformed conclusions about everything, which is fine. But there's also the complexity. So it's not a happy case, and it's not a happy story, and there's a lot of complexity to it. Now, the other thing is I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people. I don't even want to say that I tell people that I tell them what they need to hear, because I guess that all depends on the individual. But a lot of my comments go against the grain. So, for example, when you look at the men's rights, and a lot of the men who are part of these groups, and whining and complaining that they're not getting laid and all this other stuff, and attacking me because I have the luxury apparently to reject women for sex and all this other stuff. When I start talking about the alpha and the beta and omega males and females and feminism, it rubs a lot of people wrong. They don't want to listen to that truth. Now, all these things that I talk about and share in my comments, these are all things that you can observe. You don't need somebody with a bunch of letters behind their name saying, oh, this is what it's all about. This is the truth. You don't need somebody who is super popular, and I'm going to talk about that shortly, to tell you. I mean, just look at the world and how everyone interacts, and even yourself. You understand yourself, you understand others, and vice versa, right? So I talk a lot about things that people really don't want to hear about, which segues into there's a whole and I hate using this word, a paradigm with regards to what people, for example, think that feminism is about, and why the world is the way it is, and all this other stuff. And what I present goes against a lot of that. So a lot of people who get suckered into being a follower of somebody that resonates with them, I'm saying stuff that's contradictory. Now, as for the people who are popular, especially on the online world and in mainstream media, this is a good example. A lot of these people are promoted by certain individuals, and they're given that opportunity. But there's a bit of a sellout to that. And I know for myself, in 2011, I was offered to be promoted, we'll just say. And I turned that down because I didn't want to sell out what I was saying online at the time, or what I'm saying now. Now, the other thing, going back to this alpha, omega, beta thing, a lot of people, when I first joined these groups, connected with me, thinking that, well, I am like them. I am playing the victim card. I'm a victim, and I'm helpless, and your stereotypical bullshit. So, but there's a difference where, yes, I have my low points, just like anybody. It doesn't matter what genetic class you are. You have your ups and downs, and you can be damaged physically and mentally. So the point is that, you know, with regards to that, we all can face damage. We all have these trials and tribulations. But when I talk, I don't talk with bitterness. I'm not angry. I'm not paranoid. A lot of people who do comment, most of my people who are commenting are very positive. Thank you very much. You know, they're saying I'm very clear. I'm very articulate. I'm presenting something that's not fitting with the norm. So when people, other men for example, don't see me playing this victim and helpless and whining and complaining, and in fact I'm doing the complete opposite, and I've come to the realization that, for example, in my situation in life, it's because of the lesser of the male gene pool in this case, who had the position of authority, who, you know, and I talk about all this in other videos, so I'm not going to ramble on about it. So I'm not fitting in with what the norm is. And there's a lot of people who just want to whine and complain and scream and yell and cry and really try to put down others. And this turns all the way right around to the trolls, which has inspired, you know, this video with the question, you know, or them trying to highlight, well, see, no one's really commenting. Well, these are just some examples why. And, you know, I discuss about civilization, the demise of our civilization because of decadence. I talk about the ancient war that's going on. All these things all tie in. And, you know, a lot of people talk about 1984, you know, the book with George Orwell and all this other stuff and how it's coming to fruition. Yeah, it's not a prediction. It's not even an agenda. It's a repeat of history. That's all it is. There's nothing magical, mystical about any of this. When you have the lesser the human gene pool, which I describe in other videos what that means, has nothing to do with race, subspecies, or age, either of the two only genders, or social status. It has to do with genetics. And when they hit the majority of the population, the cycle repeats. And we're at that stage again. So, you know, I talk about all this, but people don't like to hear it because, well, for whatever personal reason. Anyway, I just wanted to address that welcomed question, or statement actually, by a troll, highlighting, well, nobody really responds to you. I'm not wanting to be popular. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, and thank you for sharing.